When you have your girls, you're never alone. You get together for coffee, maybe to work out, or just to laugh. We created Hey Girl, just for you. Can't wait for you to join us.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Hey Girl. I'm your girl, Kim with an E, and this is episode 46. Oh my gosh, how did we get here? If you're just joining us, welcome. Hey Girl is a safe space where you can share your experiences and be affirmed. Let's face it, life can be complex and sometimes overwhelming. That's why we believe in the power of conversation, because knowing you're not alone is what helps us get through. And I am not alone today because I have my girl, Tawnya, with me. Hey, girl.
Hey, Kim, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good.
Good. It's good to have you back. And
Thank
it's good to
you.
have all of you back as well. Say hello in the comments and let us know you're here. Who is out there joining us today?
Yes.
Oh, I need to pull up my page so I can see. But I
No,
hope everyone had a good week. How was your week, Tawnya?
girl, it was good. It was good. Busy, character building, all
Yeah,
that stuff. All that stuff.
character building. Of course.
It was.
That's
Oh,
good. That's a good way to think of it. When it's
yes,
challenging, it's character building. So,
absolutely. Hey,
how was
see,
everyone's
I see
week
a
out
few
there?
folks, Kim. Yeah, I see a few folks. I see
Who
Kieta.
do we? Hey, Kieta, faithful viewer. So good to see you.
Yes.
Glad you're
Angela,
joining us today.
yes. Angela Lynn. Hey, Angela.
Hey, girl. Hey, y'all come on in. And when you do, like Tabitha Brown says, and when come on in the room. And when you do, go ahead and hit share. Share it
Yes,
with a friend, like and follow our page. Make sure
please.
all your girlfriends know to join us every Saturday at 5 for this conversation. And of course, this month has been a really fun conversation. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have as well. We've been talking about Black women in beauty. I mean, it's Black History Month,
Yeah.
although we're coming down to the end now. This is actually the last week for this theme.
Mhm.
But I've enjoyed the conversation that we've been having all month about Black women and beauty. And what are your takeaways from this conversation that we've been having? What stands
Yeah,
out to you?
I'd love for everyone to put that in the comments. What stands out for you?
Yeah,
Um, I love the
tell us.
conversation, Kim, about you know, women in beauty and what our standard for beauty is, and
Yeah,
the fact that we that really the bottom line is do what's best for you. Do what makes you
yeah,
happy. That's really what it's all
yeah.
about. It's not a debate. It really shouldn't be a debate. It should be about just taking care of ourselves and taking care of our hair, really.
Our hair, our skin, our bodies, right? It says beauty
Everything.
encompasses all those things. But even more than that, what I keep coming back to is like, what else, right? Like beauty is not just the external things, but what's going on the inside. And I think that the takeaway for me has been that, often we are challenged in our perception of beauty because we are looking outward and trying to see how we measure up to some standard that
Exactly.
is out there. And
Mhm.
I think what's really important is that we have our own standard, right? And that it's deeper than skin, actually, because beauty is fleeting. The externals will fall away, but what's left when that happens is really the question, right?
Exactly right. Exactly right. I see
Yeah,
Natalie. Hey, Nat. I see her in the comments. Natalie said confidence is where the beauty begins. And she's exactly right about that.
yeah. And
Love
and then how do you gain that confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
goal, but how do you get there? Because
Right.
we do have challenges with that, right? If
Exactly.
we're looking at others and seeing them as more beautiful than us, or we look in the mirror and we feel like there's flaws, like
Right.
how do you still move forward with confidence in spite of those things?
Absolutely. And in our conversation, we talked about how often the way we think about beauty gets shaped in our very early years.
Yeah.
It really gets shaped that way. I think you remember I brought up that story about the little beauty pageants that I liked
Yep.
entering, and I remember before, in the build-up leading to it, asking my little friends that look like me, are you going to be in the beauty pageant? And they'd be like,
Yeah.
no, my mom said I wasn't going to win anyway, so I'm not going to
Oh.
be in it. And that, and that was how that was how their ideas and their self-esteem was shaped. I mean, it started there. And so I just remember that being so struck because, in my house, mom was like, I could care less about pageants, but if that's what you want to do, great, let's do it. I'm all in,
Right.
So it really makes a difference. And we've got our little girls and girls that are in our circle looking at us and mimicking what we do and what we say. And if we're hard on us, it's a toll on them as well.
I
have
think
to watch what I say around my daughter.
Yeah, we can't take that for granted. And I think it's easy. Just the little comments and the little statements we make can be
Yes,
huge in a child's life. We don't even realize that. Yeah.
absolutely. So
Oh
true.
my goodness.
True.
I see some comments. Um, Angela Lynn says, you move forward with confidence when you do it scared, believing in yourself. I like that. Even
I like
so, act it even
it.
before you feel it, right? Walk with confidence, even if in your head
That's
are thinking,
right.
oh, my hair's not right or my dress isn't working, but you go forward anyway. Do it scared. I love that.
That's right.
Kieta
That's
says,
right.
beauty
Never let
to
them see
me.
you sweat.
Yeah, exactly. Kieta says, beauty to me is making yourself smile from your eyes and thriving internally because you're happy with you. And you know what? It's funny you said smiling with your eyes because nowadays you have a mask on anyway, so you can only smile with your eyes.
That's true. That's true.
I can't see your smile anyway.
That's funny. I was in the store the other day, Kim, and I was talking to someone, and she was like, I can tell you're smiling at me. I can tell by your eyes. She couldn't see any other part of my face, but it is true. It's true. That's all we have nowadays.
Mercy, the age of COVID. Lord help us.
Oh,
So
I
yes,
know.
this has been a great conversation that we've been having, and I'm looking forward to the one that we will have today with our guest. Want to let you guys know though, as we look ahead to next month, still excited because next month is actually Women's History Month. Woo-hoo!
So
So we kind
excited.
of continue the conversation about women. This time not about beauty, but this next month about accomplishments and what
Yes.
what some prominent women are doing, and I am looking forward. Next month, we will actually also be talking about women in the medical profession. So I'm really looking forward to getting some good medical advice and
Yes.
insight from these powerful women that we have lined up. I'll tell you a little bit more about that.
It's
But
exciting.
before we talk about next month, I want to talk about the fact that we're actually starting Women's History Month a little early because we have our very own hidden figure right here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Hey Girl team. I just want you to know. Yes, Ton, I'm talking about you. And
Exciting.
I would like for you to share with our audience why I'm saying that. Something really spectacular happened this week that you were a part of. So why don't you go ahead and tell us, girl?
All right. Well, good. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So as you know, I work for NASA, and
Yeah.
the program that I manage, Technology Demonstration Missions Program, has about 20 different technology projects that we are maturing. And these teams are based all across the country. And a couple of our projects are actually on the Mars Perseverance rover. They launched last July, took that 7-month journey to Mars, about 34 million miles. And one of our technology projects, terrain relative navigation, was actually part of the landing system on the rover. And it actually had an onboard map that kind of mapped out the surface and helped the landing part of the rover avoid any hazards as it touched down. You've probably seen the terrain, and it's very rocky, and there's some, holes and that kind of thing. It was the most precise landing ever, and one of our technologies helped it Yeah, so just extremely excited about that, really.
How
And
cool.
the day of the landing, we were watching it. Of course, we were home. My whole team, we're all working from home. And while we're not the engineers behind the landing system, just knowing that it's a part of our program, and we had a small hand in helping them get to this part was so exciting. But the
That's
kids.
exciting.
Yes, the kids, I think, were most excited about Krispy Kreme having a promo for Mars that very day. They came out with the Mars donut. That's what the kids were excited about.
That's what they were excited about. Of
But when are we
course.
gonna go get those donuts? Yeah.
Never mind that mom was a part of this historic event. It's all about the donut.
That's right. That's right. So it's
How
exciting. It's
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, we were so proud of Tanya when she was featured on was it Good Morning America last year
The
for
Today
the work
Show,
that
actually. Yeah, yeah.
the Today Show. Yes,
Right.
so always proud of the work that you're doing, and happy to know that you're one of us out there representing well. So
Thank
congratulations to you and your team on that
thank you
accomplishment.
very much. Very much.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well, we are going to move on with our conversation today with our special guest, who, by the way, bridges the gap perfectly between the month theme of
exactly.
beauty and next month's theme with medical professionals. We planned that perfectly, didn't we? I mean, what can I say? So go ahead and tell us about our guest today.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy about her today. So, our guest today is Dr. Teneshia Daniels. She grew up in Tumsuba, Mississippi. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. Yay, chemistry! From Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee, where she also pursued her studies in the field of dentistry at Meharry Medical College. It was there that she received her Doctor of Dental Surgery degree. She is committed to providing the best, most advanced dental care. Dr. Daniels keeps up to date on advances in the dental field and enhances her skills by attending courses in cosmetic dentistry, uh, prosthodontics, endodontics, and oral surgery. Dr. Daniels is married to Representative Anthony Daniels, who is the Alabama House Minority Leader and COO of Premier Dental Spa. The Daniels are also the proud parents of Abigail Lee Daniels, who is 4, and Anthony Gregory Daniels, who is 2. They are adorable. When Dr. Daniels is not practicing her passion of general dentistry, she spends her time with her family doing community service, exercising, traveling, and learning more about skincare. So without
Welcome,
further
Dr.
ado, welcome to
Yes.
Dr. Daniels.
Welcome, Dr. Daniels, to Hey Girl.
Hello, how are you?
Great. So glad to have you. What a beautiful
Thank you.
family.
Thank
Yes,
you.
kids. I remember when you were pregnant with the first one, and it's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, they're so big now, both of them.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Hmm.
fantastic. So glad to have you on. So talk about the fact that you are from where now?
I
To
know it is a
Mississippi.
small,
Please.
small town in
Oh my
Mississippi.
gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
What
My
was
entire
growing up?
family lives there.
Uh-huh.
I moved my mom here probably about 4 years ago. So my
Uh,
grandmother's still there, but she commutes back and forth. We'll keep her a few months and then my aunts keep her a few months. But yes, it's a small town. No one has ever heard
yeah.
of it.
I know I haven't. I was curious because we've been talking about, you know, Black women in beauty, and
Hmm.
we
Mhm.
talked a little bit yesterday about the fact that you grew up in Mississippi of all places, and a lot of
Hmm.
the challenges that we as Black women have is when we grow
Hmm.
up around, in predominantly white spaces, our
Hmm.
beauty is certainly not valued, and we look so different from everyone around us. I
Yes.
was
Hmm.
curious to know what your experience was growing up as far as your sort of self-perception of beauty, and your ability to have confidence with how you
Right.
look in
Right.
spite of the differences.
When I tell people all the time, I'm from Mississippi, and they're like, well, how did what did you encounter? What happened? And I think at that time, being so young, because I did leave when I was 17. And so I think at that point, I was just a little maybe oblivious to things that may have been
Mhm.
said or things that may have been done.
Right.
But I think, just with my circle of friends and family, they uplifted me so much, So it happened, but I may not have just paid any attention to it. Not as much as like what I see now. Being in my profession, being in a male dominating profession, white profession. I see it more now, but then too, I may be paying more attention to it than I was, then.
Right. Dr. Daniels, so what led to your interest in dentistry?
Well, it's so strange because when I left home, when I started Tennessee State, I just knew I was going to medical school. That was it. My mom and my dad, they sent me to school. You're going to medical school. That's it. And I started doing summer programs every single summer. I did a summer program at Yale, and they actually threw me in a real life scenario of being in the medical field. I had a pager. I was on call. I had to go in with all of the, med students, and it was horrible. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I just don't, I immediately had anxiety. And while I was there, they exposed me to dentistry. We were able to go to University of Connecticut. We, interacted with the students there. We toured the facilities, and I was like, oh my God, this may be it. Now, my friends at Tennessee State, they were all dental. My best friend, she's a dentist in North Carolina, and she knew she was going to be a dentist from the time, I think she said when she was out of the womb, she was doing dentistry.
Really?
Okay. But that just wasn't my track. But as soon as I got back home, I decided to shadow my dentist in Tumsuba. Well, actually, his office was in Meridian, which is another small town close to Tumsuba. And I loved it. I was in love with dentistry from that moment on. And I immediately, that next semester, I told my advisor, I don't think I want to do the medical track. I want to do the dental track. And I just went that route, and I was there. I was determined that I was doing dentistry.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, some people come out knowing what they want to do, and some of us have to find our way, right?
Yes.
And you weren't far off track.
Yes.
It wasn't a big leap.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing dentistry now?
This will be 11 years for me.
Okay. Yeah.
11 years.
Nice. So when did you expand your services to include spa services?
So it's been about 4 years. I decided that I wanted to, look into other things that dentistry can offer the community. So I took a course in Botox and fillers, and I loved it. So a lot of my patients, originally, I was just doing therapeutic Botox for TMJ, for migraines, tension headaches, neck pains. I only did Botox just for those areas. And then later on, patients just really wanted that cosmetic Botox. More patients started coming in wanting more lips. After they did a full mouth rehabilitation, they're like, at this point, I think I want to get my lips larger. I think I want to get rid of the wrinkles. And I'm thinking, like, this is something, interesting. Once someone gets, their mouth done and they get that extra boost of confidence, it's like they come in with a new lipstick color. They come in with a new hair color. This is a full transformation. So I said, well, why not? Let's start this in our practice where it can be a one-stop shop. And my esthetician at that time, she came in, she offered a lot of different procedures, chemical peels, facials, waxing. And it started from there. I started taking more courses to get more certification and doing fillers in the cheeks and more lip fillers, different areas of Botox. And we've just been going since then. So I started originally about 4 years ago. I brought in the actual med spa in the office around 2 years ago.
Okay. All right.
So is this something that's new, or is this because I've never heard of the blending of dentistry and spa treatment. It's new to me. Is it actually a thing?
Well, I think with the anxiety of dentistry, now we are just trying to do what we can to decrease that anxiety. We want to make your dental appointment as comfortable as possible. Rather it's doing massages, hand massaging, foot massaging. All of these things are now being incorporated into the dental field. So we've seen a couple of different offices, we'll say in New York, California. It's really big in California.
Okay.
There is one in Birmingham. There's a husband and wife. She's the esthetician, he's the dentist.
Okay.
So we just wanted to bring, I told my husband, because I give him an idea and he's the executor. He's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is how it can be done. Let's do step
Okay.
by step. So he's the business mind behind it. I give him these crazy ideas and he's like, okay, we can make this work. So we decided to just bring it on board, see what it will look like. And it has been a great thing since we started.
I can
Um,
imagine.
mhm.
I can imagine. That's so funny. I wanted to ask you. I was thinking about it overnight, Teneshia, because I've read somewhere that dentistry is can be one of the higher, I think, the profession and those who practice, the stress levels
Oh yeah.
are among some of the highest among, I don't know if it's just medical, professionals or not, or it's just across the board, but
Mhm.
some of that I think can be due to uncooperative patients because of fear,
Mhm.
because of
Mhm.
pain or the fear of pain. And so I was wondering
Yes.
if that was in your calculus too, in starting
Yeah.
this
It
this med
yeah.
spa.
It
Uh-huh.
definitely was. I think the fear of the unknown. A lot of people
Mhm.
are going off of what happened 10, 15, 20, 30
Right.
years ago. And
Yes.
dentistry has evolved so much more now.
Mm-hmm.
Even, in our office prior to COVID, we would do eye massages, we do warm blankets, it's just different things that we're trying to do to decrease that anxiety, having the aromatherapy in the office,
Mm-hmm.
the essential oils burning, the warm towels that we give at the end of each appointment, just trying to have distractors, even the
Yes.
soft spa music that we play throughout the practice. All of those things can contribute to decreasing that anxiety, putting a patient in more of a comfort zone versus
Right.
just trying to, everybody does, they don't want the nitrous. They don't like that feel. They don't want a Valium. They don't want to,
Okay.
be put to sleep with general, anesthesia. So we're
Right.
trying to do different things to try to decrease that anxiety.
I love that.
Hmm.
So
And
good. I love that
I
too.
know. I know. So is it so would you say that it is relaxing and you said that you've only been doing the med spa, is it the past 4 years? Is that what you said?
2 years, 2 years.
Years. Okay.
Hmm.
Have you seen your levels of anxiety as
Oh
the
yes.
dental professional even
Hmm.
that you see it
Oh
in yourself
yes.
as
Oh
well?
yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Because now my patients are able, they come in, they know, we give them a list. Okay, these are things that we offer. You
Okay.
pick whatever you want. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
them, they love to do the massage, the eye massagers, and they're immediately in a relaxed state in their sleep most of
Hmm.
the time. So we're really trying to keep the mouth propped open, just because they're so relaxed. But
I can
that makes
Yeah.
imagine.
my job so
Yeah.
easy at this
Right.
point when my patient is just not tense.
Mhm.
They can open wider and I can actually get in there and see and do what I need to do. And we're done. The appointments are even shorter now because we're decreasing that anxiety.
That's
That is so
excellent.
interesting. Me being a patient, I never thought about the dentist being stressed.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought about my anxiety as a patient affecting you as a dentist. I just figured dentists were like, I guess these cold, heartless people. They'll be all right. It's fine. But that's so interesting that that anxiety is pressure for both the doctor and the patient. So I love how
Mhm.
you're addressing that for both of
Yes.
you through your
Absolutely.
practices.
And
So can you talk
there's
a little bit more about the services, these extra services that
yeah,
your
Oh,
practice
yes.
offers?
So
question.
we focus a lot on cosmetic dentistry, your veneers, your crowns, full mouth rehabilitation, patients like Invisalign, anything that's cosmetic, we focus on that. Implants, crown and bridge, of course. But now with the spa services, our estheticians, they offer body scrubs, body waxing, they do all of the facials. We have an array of different facials that we provide, the hydrofacial, anything to kind of rehydrate the skin, chemical peels, and And a lot of times, we're like, oh, I don't want anything done to my face. I'm going to stick with my soap, my water. But
Yeah.
as we age, our skin, it changes. Of course, with our skin being a little bit, much darker than other clients, we still need to do things to kind of protect our skin as well. So
Mm.
we're not only just doing luxury, we're doing medical grade. We're also teaching
Okay.
and educating.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are like, well, why should I do Botox? Why
Mm.
should I do fillers? But I like to listen to my patients. I want them to tell me, what do you want? What do you want to change about your teeth? And then at that point, sometimes we may need to change the structures around, the teeth. We may need to make the lips a little bit bigger. We may need to, reduce a little bit of wrinkle here and there, bring the lip level down. And we can do that with Botox as well. Some patients may have like a gummy smile. When they smile, we see a lot of the gingiva versus the actual tooth structure. So, I mean, we do Botox. We use it for a lot, not just to get rid of the wrinkles. A lot of my patients come in for that, but sometimes I need the Botox to kind of make the dental cosmetic portion, look great as well.
Right. Interesting. So I've looked at the comments, and
Yeah.
Kim Jacobs says, "Ladies, run, not walk, to go get pampered first. They do the best waxing in Huntsville." All right, Kim. All right. It's been
Yes,
around
our
a long
esthetician is
time.
amazing. She's amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
I stop saying, Alva Johnson says, "Hate
Yeah.
going to the dentist. This sounds great." And she also said, "Come to Chattanooga."
You never know. We may come to Chattanooga one day. You never know. Premier
That's
Health
right.
Spa of Chattanooga.
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome.
I would like to know a little bit more about fillers and Botox and what that actually means. You hear about it all the time, but I
Yeah.
don't actually know what that means. And what are there
That's
risks,
pretty awesome.
benefits? I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
It's a procedure.
a
mhm.
lot of patients, they come in and they don't really know which one should I get. Okay. So with Botox basically act on muscles. So we're constricting and stopping that movement of muscles. That's what
Okay.
Botox does. As far as fillers, we're filling in any type of wrinkles that may occur. Let's say smiling, your laugh line. We get
Right.
wrinkles in that area. So we're going to fill those areas in.
Okay.
As we get older, we lose a lot of elasticity in the skin. So we can put them in the cheek area to kind of, feel the face a little bit more. But it's multiple places. I do Botox in the frontalis area, which is the forehead. A lot of patients are like, oh, I don't want people to know what I'm thinking, my facial expression. So we do it right here in the glabellar complex area where you get those 11s. Definitely the crow's feet around the eyes.
Okay.
Some patients, even though they're not smokers, they, tend to get the smoker lip effect, where they get the
Whoa.
wrinkles around their lips. You can see when you put your lipstick on, your lipstick is bleeding in between those lines.
Okay.
So we can do Botox around the lips as well. We also do Botox in the chin area. Some patients have like that cobblestone appearance in the chin area, so we do it there as well.
Okay.
With the fillers, typically just the nasolabial fold, which is the laugh lines, just the cheek area and the lips.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So for someone like me who hates needles, talk me through what that actually looks and feels like in
Right.
practice.
So we're using the smallest needle that can be used for one.
Okay.
And then also too, we are using numbing cream. So you can always put the numbing cream on first, and
Okay.
then we let that sit for about 15, 20 minutes. Patients don't feel anything.
Mm.
Hey.
I like the idea of
Hmm.
something that numbs.
Yes.
That makes me feel a
Yes.
lot more at ease. Alva Johnson is also asking, what can you do for darkening under the eyes?
So
Hmm.
we also can do, it's called tear troughing, where fillers can go under the eyes, but you have to understand, why do you have these dark circles? A lot
Mm.
of times it can be from lack of rest. It can be from dehydration, not drinking a lot of water. So you always want to know what that underlying cause is first before we go in and do anything aggressive. My
And
esthetician,
that's
she has.
because,
Mhm. We just don't want to do fillers in areas that we don't, your eye area is very sensitive anyway. But we don't
sure.
want to, some patients that just need sleep, you put fillers in that area, then you start getting that blowfish look where your eyes are more puffy all the time versus having that more relaxed, smooth
Right.
look.
Right.
We have different facials that we do and different skincare products that we sell that will help with the dark circles as well. But you have to understand it takes a while. It's not, okay, you're going to start the routine today and you'll see something next week. It may take weeks before
Right.
you'll see the difference.
And it sounds like you need to make those lifestyle changes that
Yes.
enhance the effect.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So
I
it's
see.
not a magic wand, in other words.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. So I saw in the chat that another dental professional, our good friend Angela Lynn, she agreed that it's just, I think for the dental professional, it's just unexplainable stress.
It
And
is.
one of the questions I had is, what advice do you give? I'm blessed. I know many others are blessed to have good dentist, experiences growing up, having a good dentist. But there are many of us who don't, who did not have good experiences, and perhaps avoid the dentist like the plague now. So, what would you tell someone who avoids the dentist, had a bad, maybe a bad childhood experience, and as a result, they've long neglected their care? What would you tell them?
Well, definitely things with dentistry, they never get better, they always get worse.
Mm,
Okay, that it never goes away.
right.
The pain that you can develop, the infection that you can develop,
Hmm.
is something that can be irreversible at times. I tell my patients all the time, your mouth, the blood vessels in your mouth are connected to your brain and to your heart. Just
Mm,
imagining any infection that's getting into those bloodstreams, those are the two most important organs that we have. And
hmm.
for a dental abscess or infection to go to those areas, that's something that can be irreversible.
Wow.
We a lot of times we tend to not take dentistry as serious as we probably would with a medical illness.
Hmm.
But you never know how severe it can happen. People die every day. Children die every day from dental abscess, for something that could have been prevented. I definitely advise people, find a dentist that you trust. I'm all about, my space and how I feel about certain people and things like that. Like, you have to use your judgment. Be
Hmm.
comfortable, but you have to trust someone.
Right.
And know that dentistry has evolved. Things are not the same. We don't use the same anesthesia. We have much more techniques to get you comfortable than, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago.
Right.
Dentistry evolves every single year. That's why you'll see we go to continuing education. We have to have so many hours a year. It's
Mhm.
because everything changes year to year, month to month. But find someone who you can trust, because it can become a very, very serious issue.
Sure.
And a lot of times, people are, oh, dentists just want to get my money. No. We have taken an oath to do no harm and to provide the best service that we can provide to any patient, no matter your class, race, sex. That is our obligation. And to have a profession that we hold our profession to a very high standard. But when my patients come in, it bothers me, when I know that someone has taken advantage of them, someone
Right.
has mistreated them.
Hmm.
And I want to make sure that I can correct that. When I have patients that come in my office, they're like, I have anxiety, I can't do this. We take it step by step. You know, you may have 10 cavities. We'll do one today. We
Okay.
want to build your trust. We're
Right.
not going to just throw you in there and do everything all at one time. We want
Right.
to make sure that you're comfortable. Because your anxiety level can get super high in the dental practice where patients can have a stroke, have a heart attack, because that is the amount of anxiety that some patients have. You would be surprised at the amount of anxiety that patients get just from walking in the door.
Wow.
So I mean, I just definitely advise finding someone who you trust and taking it one step at a time. Don't go in letting them do everything all at one time and you have this high anxiety, Take it one step at a time.
Right.
That's such good advice. I know that it sounds very similar to the anxiety that particularly the older population has about vaccines, right? But older generation had experiences with dentists that are far different from what we, like you said, evolved greatly. I have an ancestor who I think great aunt who the story in the family is that she died in the dentist chair, So I mean, those, I think we can't minimize the impact of those kinds of stories that get passed on, and then you end up with people who are just, deadly afraid of stepping into a dentist's office, and understandably so. But it is good to hear you say and remind everyone that you're not practicing dentistry in the same way that they did 100 years ago or 50 years ago.
Right.
So it's not, your experience is not going to be like that just because you've heard those horror stories.
I found it interesting. Some of the, I don't know, I don't think it's every visit, but I did. It was interesting when they pulled out a blood pressure cuff, Teneshia, and I thought, what's this about?
Oh yeah.
And they said, we have to do that. We need to make sure that things are right, and that we have a good visit. So I thought that was. That's a very interesting thing.
We don't think about the systems being connected. We feel like it's just my teeth. It doesn't have anything to do with my brain or my heart or my kidneys
but it does.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. We take blood pressure on every patient that walks in, simply because the anesthesia that is administered, it can definitely increase the blood pressure. And if your blood pressure is already high, whether it's you have hypertension or you have anxiety, then that changes the whole scenario.
Makes sense.
In the practice. So that's very important. If you go somewhere and they didn't take your blood pressure, then definitely be concerned.
Right.
But we take our blood pressure on every single patient.
Right. Well, I think you've told us in there's so many words that we're not just taking care of our teeth for beauty. It's really to take care of our health. So
yes,
absolutely.
That is key. That is key.
I was going to say, I see a comment from Kim Jacobs, or a question actually. She says that cosmetic enhancements are popular with white women. Are you seeing more Black women getting cosmetic enhancement treatments?
Oh, yes. I think social media has heightened the whole, I guess, outlook on dentistry. With the different memes, the different, jokes that people will say, nowadays that patient just doesn't want to be that one. Like, I don't want to be the one missing a side tooth. I don't want to be the one that doesn't have, the straight teeth. I don't want to be that one. So social media is definitely taking dentistry to a different level now. And the expectation is higher, which it should be. So I do see a lot of African American women coming in. They want everything done. They want the veneers, they want the crowns, they want the implants, they want that movie star smile. And surprisingly, a lot of white women, they may want to do one or two, maybe, well, this one's okay. If it's crooked, it's okay. But my sisters, they're like, no, I want everything straight. I want everything right. But that's a good thing. We're definitely taking care of ourselves, and a lot of times, it's when you're at that retirement age, you're like, I want to do something for myself. I've done so much for my kids. They've had braces. I had 3 or 4 kids, braces after braces after braces. It's my time. So it's kind of like, when I retire, I go and buy that brand new Mercedes. I want to get this brand new smile. It's just, it comes with the package. It's a full package.
That is so interesting. I never thought about the connection between social media and wanting to improve your appearance. Everyone's a movie star these days.
That
You can
makes perfect sense.
the star of your own show on Facebook or YouTube.
Mhm.
And so, of course, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Like you said, though, okay, vanity is working in your favor and in their favor, too, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get them in there. That's so funny.
I do have another question, and let me go to the chats. I saw a question from Kieti. Why is dentistry not taken seriously in the later years? For instance, many dental plans are discontinued or prices go way up.
Dental insurance and things like that. Insurance can be very tricky.
Okay.
Very tricky. And we try to educate our patients on that too, because a lot of patients come in, if my insurance is not going to cover it, I don't want it.
Okay.
Insurance is not really there. Dental insurance is not really there to help the patient. It's there to help the insurance company. A lot of patients come in, they have this, they think they have a great plan, but when they look at it, they have a 365-day waiting period. So they're paying for this premium every single month, but they can't get anything major done, just a cleaning.
Wow.
So that in itself, the money that you're putting into this premium every month, you can just save that money and just, pay for your 2 cleanings, a year, if that's the only thing you want to get done. A lot of them will have a missing tooth clause, meaning if that tooth was missing prior to you getting this insurance policy, they're not going to pay to replace that tooth. So, I mean, there are different clauses that you'll see in insurance, and it can get very expensive. Then they give you a maximum of only $1,500 when you've probably put in $1,500 throughout that year in premium costs. And the $1,500 is not okay. I give you a treatment plan and the total is $1,500. You don't have to pay anything. That's not how it works. They're only probably going to pay 50% of the $1,500.
Okay.
So if your crown is $800 and you have $1,500, they're not going to pay the full $800. They're only going to pay $400 on that crown. So insurance companies are really trying to, get what they can.
Right.
A lot of people that you see that actually have policies, they typically only may need a cleaning every 6 months. People that really need the dental insurance can't really afford it. And then when they do get it, it's very expensive and it has all these different clauses, which stops them from being able to use it in the first place.
Oh my goodness. Is there, do you have any suggestions? It sounds like there's a no-win situation. Just save up to get what you really need, pay for it out of your pocket.
Yeah, it sounds like cash on the barrel.
Yes, it's a lot. I tell a lot of patients, sometimes you may want to just save it up on your own. Sometimes, that's why I tell patients all the time, do what is the cheapest. If the dentist says, okay, you have 5 fillings, don't wait until those fillings turn into root canals. And then root canals turn into crowns. And then sometimes that may turn into an extraction. Then you need an implant or a bridge. The longer you wait, the more expensive those procedures can get.
Got it. Makes sense.
In the chat from Alva, she's asking what, if any trends you see with male patients. We're sort of assuming we're talking mostly about women, but she's wondering if you see men coming in with, with a desire to improve their appearance as well.
Oh, definitely. Now, men, their biggest thing is they want to make sure their teeth are clean. They don't have any periodontal disease, so they don't have any bad breath or anything like that. They're not really concerned about the appearance. My teeth are yellow. I don't care. Yeah, if I'm now there are some that want to get the Botox. They want the Botox. They want the fillers. We do have those too. but not
Not
as
as many.
much as the women. Yes, they come in and get their Metropolitan Man facial. They they will pamper themselves once a month. But yes, our women typically get the works.
Okay,
Hmm.
got it.
Yes.
That's
To ask you, are there any services that you are often asked and say, and I'll back up. Last week we had a hair professional on, hairstylist,
Mhm.
and she was saying, I don't do, treatments for hair loss. You really
Mhm.
should go to a dermatologist for that. Are
Mhm.
there any services that you're often asked for that you say, that's not what we offer? You really should consult with a dermatologist for this or that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So my esthetician, she typically assess the issue.
Okay.
And if she feels like it's something, because a lot of times skin issues can be systemic. So you do need to go to a dermatologist. She'll do the facials, she'll try to put them on a regimen if things are not changing. Then the recommendation, let's go to your primary care, let's go to a dermatologist and see what they recommend. We have a lot of clients that have done that route, and then they
Mm-hmm.
decide to come back to the esthetician portion and let's do a better skin regimen.
Okay.
But it just depends. Hmm.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you.
Hmm.
This has been very informative. I feel like I know so much more now about the options available for skincare and dental health. I think the dental health I think I've been really good about keeping on top of, but I
Hmm.
love the other services that you offer
Yes.
as well. My interest is definitely piqued. And I'm just so excited that we have this available to us right here in our little town. We're a little
Yes.
bit, maybe a little bigger than Tumsumba, but we're not much bigger.
Very, very.
So it's really cool that we have this. Now, I know that someone was asking you to come to Chattanooga and open a place there. You may not be able to do that right away, but I hear that there are rather plans for another premier dental place.
Yes, yes. In the next couple of months, we are looking to open our second Premier Dental Spa.
Aw,
Yes, we're excited about that. We are definitely excited about that. The need is definitely there. I definitely want to share this model with as many people as we possibly can. So, in the next 3 months, we'll definitely be opening our second location, and we'll be launching that information soon.
oh,
Okay, I'm excited.
exciting.
Look,
So
you
for
heard it
those
here
of you,
first.
that's right. Breaking news right here on
Exclusive,
Hey Girl
Kim.
exclusive. I'm so excited that she was willing to share
Uh,
it on this
that's
platform.
awesome.
That's fantastic. So for those of you who are local, everyone who's watching who's local, can you tell them where your current location is? And are you able to disclose where the new one will be, or is that not
Yes,
yet?
yes. So we're currently located at 5045 Memorial Parkway, and that is on the parkway right up from Alabama A&M,
Mm-hmm.
right beside the Bojangles. So that's our Huntsville location. We are in the works of building out our second location in Madison, at
Mhm.
Town Madison. So it'll be right across from the Toyota field.
All right.
Yes,
So, ladies, you
Perfect
heard it here
location.
first. Yes,
yes,
I'm sure. Just make note of that and listen out for the grand opening announcement for the
yes.
new location. So exciting. So proud of
Thank
you,
you.
Dr.
Thank you
Daniels,
so
and the work
much.
you're doing and the services that you're offering to our ladies and gentlemen, of course. But
Yes.
so ladies who are watching, take advantage of this opportunity to improve how you look and build your confidence. But of course, as we have said, have confidence first on the inside and for
Yes.
being who you are, because what
Mhm.
you do externally is not going to take the place of that internal
Yes.
confidence that you need to have. So very cool. Well, thank you, Dr. Daniels.
Thank you for having me. Thank
It's been
We
you.
wonderful today. Really appreciate you sharing all your insight with us and our audience. Thank you, Teneshia. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Thank you.
will see you soon. So, Ton, we have
Oh, that was wonderful, Kim.
she's so delightful. And
It is. And
I
I
can't,
love it when people can find a niche, I love innovation. And I just think this
yes,
is prime example of it, especially in
Yeah.
our community, because it's certainly not I think she's the only one in this community.
Yeah. I
One of
mean,
few.
she said that there was someone in Birmingham who's doing it, but I mean,
Right.
it's
Okay.
not a common thing. So I think that's
No.
awesome that she's sort of
Yes.
breaking ground in this way.
Mhm.
And it's and there is something to be said for her being a Black woman, right? Like to see
Absolutely.
someone who
Yes.
looks like you who's doing this kind of work. I think even that can put you at ease if you're someone who's a little uncertain about these kinds of things. And Botox and fillers, that just seems like something rich white women do, right? And so to know that this is something that could potentially be accessible to us and for us,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely. If
great.
we choose it,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I love the second location. That's great. I have a dermatologist that's in Birmingham, and she has a second location near Anniston. So she actually goes
Mm,
back and forth between the two. So it'll be interesting to see how Dr. Daniels handles her second location. But I'm so proud of
yeah.
her.
I am too. I am too. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet the dermatologist of yours as well. She'll be coming on this very soon. We'll introduce everyone to her in a few weeks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, let's go on to
Okay.
our scripture for today.
Yes. Yes. I'm excited about that. All right. So we have 3 scriptures. Let's see. Our first one is coming from Hebrews 12, verses 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down. Again, that's Hebrews 12, verses 1. The second one comes from Isaiah 40, verse 6. People are like grass. Their beauty fades as quickly as the flowers in a field. And the third scripture, the grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of God stands forever. That comes from Isaiah 40, verse 8. Very
I love
nice.
Yeah. We always have to bring it back to the Word of God because it's easy to lose sight sometimes of what we should be focused on, you know.
Right. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, Kim.
Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
Let us all remember that, if nothing else.
Nothing else. Exactly.
Well, I'm looking forward to next month's uh, Hey Girl, brand new theme, brand new set of beautiful women to talk to about their work in the world. And I'm looking forward to it. And I know I'm going to see you again, Miss Khan.
Yes, ma'am. Tanya with a W.
That's right.
Throw that in.
And,
Throw that in.
yes, and we look forward to seeing all of you out there. Like I
Yes.
said, like, follow, and share. Bring a friend when you come into the room with your girlfriends. We'll be here, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
It's March and it's Hey Girl Medical Month. Next week, we're excited to introduce to you health coach Kimberly Joy Morgan, founder of Do All Things with Joy. Kimberly helps people improve their gut health and get a new lease on life. She's an author, trainer, speaker, and mentor that you'll definitely want to meet. Join the conversation Saturday, March 6th on Hey Girl.